Telling your brand story clearly is super powerful, but sometimes coming up with that story or understanding what that story is pretty complicated. But in this video, I'm going to share a process which I've recently started using, which makes this process very easy. Hey everybody, what's up and welcome to another segment of Weapon of Choice, where I share some of the tools and processes I use as a designer to get my work done. Sometimes these are actually like digital tool apps, but this time I want to talk about a process, and the process is the StoryBrand process. You might have seen the video where I discussed the books that I've recently read, and I've read the book Brand Story by Donald Miller, which was very impactful, I would say, because I've started using this process for understanding and clarifying brand story, and it proved really valuable. So first of all, I suggest you read this book, but let me sum up the kind of process and the idea behind it. So basically what Donald says in the book is that there is a very clear narrative in all the books, the movies, and in general stories that we see and understand as humans. And that narrative is basically something like there's a hero, the hero has a problem, they want something, but they have a problem. Then they meet some kind of a guide who gives them some kind of a plan to overcome their challenges, and they go through these challenges, they using the plan, they succeed, they avoid failure, and then there's kind of a win. This is basically, as he claims, the basic narrative in all the Hollywood movies that you see, but also the way that some brands communicate. But a lot of what I think that people, or he thinks that people get it mixed up, is that they try to tell a story where they are the heroes, but actually the hero is the customer. The customer wants to achieve something and has problems achieving that, and the brand is actually the hero that can provide them with a plan on how to solve this problem. So basically the way that the framework works is, I told you this story, and this story is basically made up of like 7 points, like who is the hero, what does they want, what is their problem, who is the guide, what is the plan that the guide suggests to them, how do they avoid failures, and how does winning look like. That's basically 6 or 7 steps. And once you do what I actually did based on the framework in the book, is I actually did a full day workshop with my clients where I explained obviously the framework, and then we went kind of like step by step in the story and try to understand, based on their company, like who is your potential client, what do they actually want, what are the problems in their life. And by actually defining and spending time thinking about each of these points, it really helps us break down the story really clearly. And once you have kind of brainstorm all of these ideas, you can either compress them into like a very simple and clear one-liner for your company, but you can also use this as a way to write as many texts as you need. It can be like a huge story, like a 2-hour story in the cinema, or just like a one-liner. You can expand on that story how much you want. That is very powerful. So I do recommend you check out this book. There's also, if you go to StoryBrand.com, if I'm not mistaken, I'll put the link in the description. Donald actually created a platform which allows you takes you, even if you didn't read the book, you can watch the videos online, and it takes you step by step in this kind of a process. Answer these questions about the hero, ask these questions about the guide, and by filling these questions online, you can actually have as a guide for your process, and you can use the website to guide your process along and actually document this and export it as kind of a brand story document. So for me, I've been helping brands for years now to tell their story and clarify their strategy and their brand strategy, and I've used many different frameworks, but I think this framework really allows to understand where are the trade-offs. You can't and that's very clear on any branding project. You can't talk to anybody. You need to be talking to a very specific type of customer. You need to understand what problems are you solving for them. So having these points as kind of anchors for these discussions and kind of answer each one of these questions to come up with the story, I think it was very, very helpful. And I can even say that, my clients really enjoy the process of going through this framework. So the whole thing was very, very successful. And I do plan to use it again with other clients and also with my own business. I'm doing the Webflow Masterclass right now, and it's really helpful when I create either, the sales page for my course, or even when I create ads. It really allows me to understand who I'm talking to, how can I tell the story really quickly, or if I want to expand on it, what are the talking points that I should consider to make an interesting story. Hope this was helpful for you, and I hope you do check out the book because it's really, really good. I've listened to it on Audible and it was really, really great. So hope that was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.